I mean, he stops to count them. How long does that take? He's like fumbling with it. It keeps falling over. I mean, you may go, well, what's the big deal? It's just a little hand motion here. Yeah? What if there's 5 guys like this and it adds up? Day after day, hour after hour, week after week, month after month, year after year. This costs money, big money, people. And you're wasting it with stupid stuff like this, and thank goodness that he had the presence of mind to put the GoPro on his head, and I'm looking around and I see it. Because that right there is opportunity for improvement. Hey, this is Jason Canigan from Cold Star Technologies. Let's talk about process engineering. A lot of people don't know what this is, and yet it's the core service that my company does. People don't know what it is. You don't have to have some huge company to make use of it either. It's a step-by-step understanding of what you're doing. You know, in your business you have processes and systems, whether you like acknowledge it or not. They could be awful and broken and ill-defined. They're still there. There's still a way that you and your people go about doing the things that you do. Now, if you don't have clarity on any of this stuff, how could you do it well, right? Can you imagine, I don't know if you watch NASCAR or not, but you must have the idea of a pit crew, right? The car comes into the pit and a crew rushes out, and there's certain rules by way they have to behave, right? They can do this, they can't do that. But the idea is they need to change the tires and maybe make some mechanical adjustments, and they need to do it as fast as possible, right? So if we had these guys doing whatever the hell they wanted to do, in whatever order they wanted to do, and not looking at their neighbor or figuring out, you know, hey, this is an important thing that I should do this second, not first, because if I do it first, it's going to screw up my neighbor, right? If everybody just went out and did this jumble of whatever the hell they wanted, how do you think that would impact the quality of the result, the speed of the implementation of the result, the throughput of the result, and the profitability of the result? It would suck, wouldn't it? And yet, I have to tell you, this is the state most organizations are in. They are doing the things the way they do them because somebody did them that way 6 years ago. That person's no longer with the company. Nobody has stopped to ask, why are we doing this way? I mean, I'll tell you, I had a guest on my show, the Cold Star Project. He's an enterprise resource planning, ERP implementation consultant. And he gave an example of a company that was complaining that they wanted this paper printer thing. They'd had to make 7 copies, and they needed this software that made 7 copies specifically, and they wouldn't consider anything else. And when he dug into it with the steps that we use, right, which are not really that complicated, but again, nobody does it, he found out that they printed this 7 heavy printed through the layers printout thing, and the woman separated the pages, handed out the 3 copies on top to where they were supposed to go, and then threw the other 4 away. And I'm being angry about this to impact you, to put some emotion into this. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? That you are insisting that this major tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars implementation project rotate around a broken thing that is being done for no good reason any longer. And that is going on in your organization. Trust me, it is going on somewhere right now. You probably have 3 or 4 or 5 things like that going on. And if your organization is of any size, 12, 20 people and larger, stupidity is running rampant. Rampant. People are doing things mechanically like marionettes. They are doing things automatically, brainlessly. Oh, but my people are smart. I don't care how smart your people are. They are going through the motions and doing things the way that they were taught to do them, because that's how you do things in your culture. And nobody stops to go, we should look at this and determine, do we need to be doing this anymore? Because if you can eliminate a step, boy, have you got something. That's profit. That's increased throughput. That's better efficiency. That's being able to use that guy or girl on another thing for that second you saved or whatever it is. And this stuff adds up in any organization of any size, any decent size. You have got $100,000 problems lying around all over the place. I trip over them all the time. And in a smaller organization, this kind of thing could kill you. And I'm not joking. Just go look up, I'll link to it in the description, the Project Start Gap. That has killed more businesses, including one of mine, than anything that impacts small businesses that I've seen. And it's because we go along like robots and we allow things to occur the way that they're occurring, and nobody stops to say, do we need to put up with this crap? Do we need to do it this way? Why are we doing it this way? And so I'm using this example here, this video, and nothing against this gentleman. I thank him for providing it because it's really cool. This is from the Central Processing Department of a hospital. This is the guts of the hospital, okay? And I have been in hospitals in this room, and it's split up into not sterile and sterile areas. There's a whole design and flow to it. I love it. It's great. This is where they take the dirty instruments. They come down from the operating room, and they come into the dirty side, and then they're sterilized. They are cleaned, disinfected, and sterilized and put into containers set up for tomorrow's operations. And then they go back up to the OR when they're needed. Now, is this important? Yes. People could die if it's not done properly. And guess how long it takes? It takes a while for an instrument to go through this process, like 6 or 8 hours to get them fully sterilized. It is not a simple thing. Remember what I was talking about the pit crew? This is your constraint. How could we get that 6 hours to be shorter? What could we do to make that better, faster, more efficient, and most importantly, accurate, right? We want accuracy here. Can't have the wrong instrument in the pack, or else it gets up there and the doctor freaks out when he's in front of the patient, or she is. Okay? Now you watch this guy. I love this because the guy put a GoPro on his head and he's walking around and we get to see what he is doing. Nothing is better than real data from the factory floor, people. And again, I'm animated because I love this stuff and I believe in it, and most of you are doing it terribly. You're ignoring it. You're doing it wrong. Look at this guy. Look at how he's new on the job, okay? So, let's give him a bit of a break for that. He's not a dumb guy. He put the GoPro on his head. Again, I love this. I would go into every hospital CPD department and put GoPros on everybody's head and not tell them what I'm doing and just say, show me what you're doing, have it on for the day, show me around. And I would get videos like this and stuff would leap out at me as it is here. This guy, this poor fellow, is trying to put these hemostats, these like scissor clamp things, right, on this cleaning rack. And it's got 2 posts and then this floppy, stupid thing at the top to I don't even know why this thing is necessary. It's like a lock to keep them from falling off or something. I mean, he stops to count them. How long does that take? He's like fumbling with it. It keeps falling over. I mean, you may go, well, what's the big deal? It's just a little hand motion here. Yeah? What if there's 5 guys like this and it adds up? Day after day, hour after hour, week after week, month after month, year after year. This costs money, big money, people. And you're wasting it with stupid stuff like this. And thank goodness that he had the presence of mind to put the GoPro on his head, and I'm looking around and I see it. Because that right there is opportunity for improvement. That guy has a cost. And it's not just his wages. Any employer knows they got to pay. There's a ton of extra costs for employees than wages. So this guy, easily $20, $25 an hour in costs. And here he is fumbling around with this crap. Okay? This stuff jumps out at me and my analysts. You can do better. So that's what process engineering is about. It's about recording the way you're doing things now. Not the way you think you're doing them. Not the way you wish you were doing them. Not the theoretical way that is told to the customer or whatever. The actual reality, the hardcore, brutal truth about what's happening here. And look at the brutal truth here. Fumble, fumble, fumble. Wasted time. Inefficient. If this guy was in the pit crew, he'd have dropped the frickin' tire and wheel before it got onto the car. And again, nothing against this guy. I really am happy he made this video. Okay? And he's actually saying, look, there's opportunities for improvement here if we had the audio of the original. This stuff is going on in your business all the time, and you need to clean it up, because the profitability of doing so and your ability to impact your customer by getting the job done faster and better, more effectively, more efficiently. More money for you, better result for them, maybe even more money for them. All the way from your supply chain, all the way through fulfillment execution in your organization. So if this really made an impression on you, as I hope it did, because nothing works like examples, right? I mean, I ought to go around to every hospital I can find and give them this video. Because we can do something about this. They could do something about this. Heck, they don't even need to hire me, although, frankly, my experience level and my team's experience level and our ability to pull stuff like this out from what we see, I mean, you could just look at it and go, oh, well, yeah, dummy guy doing this, you know, that's the way it works. And we go, no, it doesn't have to be that way. You could do this better. If that's you, if you're the kind of business owner who is willing to look at the brutal stupidity and the brutal truth about what's going on in your business, then we should speak. Okay? This isn't for cowards. This isn't for people who don't want to look. This isn't for people who want to be nice all the time. This is about getting the most out of what you've got and getting the best impact result for yourself and your end customer. And if those values are serious to you as they are to me, if you value the truth as much as we do, then we should speak.